What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? It's your boy, StephenMotivate, back again with another episode of The Journey to Freedom. Thank you so much for tuning in, connecting with us, connecting with me. I hope this helps you. What I want to talk to you today is about 7 streams of income. You might have seen me do a live on this, but we wanted to make it a little more polished for you. How did I build 7 streams of income? People are always asking me. And so this whole video, we're going to talk about that and walk you through how you can do it too. If it's possible for me, it's possible for you. The same God that made me is the same God that made you. So I want you to know it's possible for you and just kind of walk you through how I did it. Number 1, I got a job. And let me tell you, it wasn't very easy to get a job. I went to school, graduated. I kind of started throwing parties and being a big party promoter in school. And by the time it was time to graduate and get a big boy job, I wasn't really ready or really qualified like I thought I should be and would be at that stage. So I struggled getting a job out of undergrad. I finally got one, not to even speak of the fact that it was 2008. The financial crisis was going crazy. People were losing their homes. The world was going crazy. So not the best time to graduate either. But I did finally get a job selling medical equipment, and that didn't go well. I thought I'd be good at it, but a lot of people were holding their budgets. They didn't know what to do. And frankly, I just wasn't making many sales. So I felt down, felt depressed. I remember one night crying and being upset, like, God, why am I doing this? And I think that was after I had an interview with Charles Schwab, and I was supposed to become like a banker there. And I made it very far in the interview process. And next thing I know, it was like, nope, you didn't make it. And I was like, what? What happened? And that's the night I cried, actually. I was so sad as I felt like a loser. I just broken up with my girlfriend. It was just a bad time in life. I remember saying to myself, man, maybe if I go back to school, I can kind of restart. And so that's what I did. I went back to school and I got my master's in business, and I went to Ball State University, and against the advice of some people that I really respected. And this is why it's important to always know what's right for you. Yeah, you can get advice from people, and you can listen to people that have done it before, but you still have to know what's right for you. And I still respect those people to this day, but come to find out, I needed to go to that school. And they were saying, I don't know if you should go to Ball State and all that sort of thing. But I ended up going, and it ended up being a good thing.
Question I always get is, Stephen, how do you do it all? From Turo to working a 9-to-5 to podcasting to having DiamondShineCleaner.com. How do you do it all? Well, I will say it's not easy, but it is doable if you do it the right way. And that's why I created the free Side Hustle Starter Kit to help you learn how to get started in whatever business you want to get started in as a side hustle. Most Americans now require a side hustle of some sort just to make ends meet. And I want to help you learn how to do it the right way. So click the link below or visit the website, and I'd love to help you get your side hustle started today.
And long story short, I ended up getting a job after school. And so when you think about how have I been able to build 7 streams of income, well, it starts with income stream number 1, and that is getting a job. I know most people are telling you, quit your job, go full-fledged into entrepreneurship. Folks dismiss college and they dismiss getting a job as if it's an old, outdated way of doing things. But I've spoken to entrepreneurs who wish they would have went to school, who are doing extremely well, and that's the only thing they feel like they're missing. So do not dismiss going to school. Do not dismiss getting a job. That is my number 1 stream of income, and it has allowed me to create other streams of income. So anybody that's out there saying don't get a job, I don't agree with that. Get yourself a job. It will teach you a lot of good things, and it will give you that income stream that allows you to start building multiple bank accounts, start building a firm financial foundation, paying yourself first, all the things that we teach. It starts with getting a J-O-B. I remember the movie Higher Learning, and it's a funny part in the movie, and she says to the lady, baby, you just gonna have to get yourself a job. And that's what I'm telling you. Get yourself a job. I know you're trying to be the world's biggest entrepreneur. Look, I am too, but I have a job while I'm trying to do it. And I suggest you get one that's going to pay you consistently and that you can start to build your other side hustles off of. Income stream number 2 really started a little bit after I really got established in my second big boy job, right? I got a job after college and I was making nearly 6 figures, not exactly 6. But then my next job really opened me up to making 6 figures. And I was like, wow, this is a lot of money. But even though I was making a lot of money, you got to think there's still taxes, more taxes on 6 figures. You got to think I was working a lot. So I'm always eating out and doing this sort of thing. And my point in saying all this is just because you make more doesn't mean that you have more. In fact, many people make more and have less, because they make more and they spend more. And if you make more and you spend more, you do not understand financial literacy. Financial literacy is to understand that if I have something and I use it, I will no longer have it. And many people who make more money, they have something, they use it, and then they're like, I no longer have it. And they're confused because they literally don't understand that if you spend the thing you just made, you don't have it anymore. Right? And so that's the problem. Most of us are not financially literate because it's like our brain shuts down. We get the money, we spend the money. And so we think that we've done something when in fact we've done nothing but become a conduit, a spender. You've become a big spender, which that looks good. It feels good, but it's not actually good for your pocketbook. So you get your job. Right, that's your number 1 stream of income. But after I started making a decent amount of money and I start realizing I'm just spending more, I talked to my cousin. And this is why I tell people in my 5-part framework to get help, because you need help. My cousin was a millionaire and he was the richest person I knew. And I didn't have a planned meeting with him. It was just, he just happened to be in town. And I was like, hey, come look at my job. I want you to see my office, da 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 da. And he says, Stephen, how much money are you making? And I told him. And he says, how much are you putting towards your retirement? And I says, I don't know, because I didn't know. And he says, Stephen, you need to be maxing out your 401k every year. I said, say no more. I took him for his word and I started doing that. And when I started doing that, I took that one income stream, not even fully understanding what I was doing from my job. And I got with my HR office, all that. And I said, hey, I want to start maxing out my 401k. And immediately I started making less money, which ended up being the best thing for me. And let me explain. My paycheck became smaller, but my retirement account became bigger. And so my retirement account began to grow and grow, which is a future income stream that I'm not using currently, but it began to grow and grow and grow. And the money I had in my pocket that I loved to spend became less and less and less and less and less. And so at first it was like, oh my God, I'm making like $300 less than what I was each paycheck. How am I going to live off this? But lo and behold, I adjusted. But not only that, I learned from that retirement account, okay, we're putting money into stocks there, right? We're putting money into target date funds. Target date funds, I've talked to you guys about this before, where it invests based on when they think you're going to retire. And so I'm like, well, if it's good for my money in the future, it's probably good for my money now. So here's where we come to our third income stream. I started taking my money and putting it into Robinhood. I was coming home from work and I was on, if you're from Charlotte, you know, I-77. I was on I-77 and a young girl rammed into the back of my car and damaged my bumper. And she was all flustered and in a rush. And she said, oh my gosh, I'm headed to a wedding. Can we just not call the cops and I'll take care of it? I said, well, that sounds like you're trying to scam me. But I said, okay, let me get a picture of your ID. Let me get a picture of your insurance. Let me get a picture of your car. Let me get a picture of your face. So I was like, I'm going to be in, Inspector Gadget myself, because if you screw me, I'm going to find you. And lo and behold, she didn't screw me. And I went and got an estimate for the bumper, and the bumper was going to be like $800 or something to fix. And so I sent her the estimate and I said, hey, I'm going to contact the police or whatever if we don't get this paid. And she's like, okay, I'll pay it. So she sends me the money. And once I get the money, I'm like, do I really need to fix this? And so I went and I started adjusting it myself. And lo and behold, I pushed, I did some stuff, I kicked, and I'm like, oh, the bumper kind of fit back into place. It was a little broken, but it was good enough. So I remember the guy where I got the estimate, he kept calling me, hey, did you want to bring that in to get it fixed? I'm like, oh, yeah, maybe I'll get back to you. So I never took it to get it fixed. And now I had an extra $800 all at once. And what I did with that $800, said, you know what? Let me put this in Robinhood. Have you ever felt like you were just stuck? Just like you weren't completely free, kind of like in a cage and you can't do exactly what you want to do or really accomplish the dreams you want to accomplish? Well, I felt that way too, until I learned how to create freedom for myself. And the best part about it, I didn't have to quit my 9-to-5 job. I didn't have to leave my family. I didn't have to forsake all of my friends. I just made simple steps to start really finding out, how can I build freedom for myself? How can I promote myself? How can I make decisions for myself and for my future that I can be proud of? And I want to help you do that. This Fuel Your Freedom Challenge is all about helping you get the tools so you can put the gas behind your dreams, put the pedal behind your hopes and behind your goals. I want to help you do that. I'm excited that you're here. Click the link. Let's get signed up, and I'll see you on the other side. Fuel your freedom. Get ready. It's happening soon. Best decision I ever could have made, because now I put that money in Robinhood, and before I knew it, I had 5,000 in that account. I had 10,000, 20,000. And I also started getting stocks that paid dividends. So dividends are a share of the earnings of the companies you own. And you've heard me talk about stocks before on Wealthy Thoughts or some of our other videos. And when I started to see money coming back to me, in some cases monthly, from some of the stocks that I own, I said, wow, I created a third income stream. And it was my dividend income. So because I had put money in the right place, and I didn't take that 800 and go blow it, but actually put it in a place where it could be planted like a seed in the ground to produce more money, it actually started to benefit me and create another income stream. I know it sounds crazy, but that income stream is still producing income for me to this very day. Dividend income. All right. Number 4, let's fast forward a few years. I'm making money. I've got my stocks. I got my retirement. I'm doing all the right things there. But I'm like, man, I need some more money because I'm about to have a baby. I got a family now. I need a little bit more. And so I remember I'm like, well, I got some credit card debt. I got some stuff. And this car I had, I heard about this thing called Turo. And I'd heard about it years ago, but I'd never put my car on the platform or let anybody borrow it. So I said, let me try that. Let me see if I can generate some income before I just sell this car and get a new one for my baby that I'm expecting. And my car was a 2-door Camaro. So my mom was already on my back about, you're not going to have my grandchildren riding around in a 2-door Camaro. It's not safe. They need a real car. So I'm like, all right, Mom, well, if I'm going to buy a car, I just don't want to buy a car. I want to do something that's going to create another income stream. So if you recall, I told you that, many years before I started using my retirement account. And one thing I didn't know about my retirement account was that some of that money was still accessible to me. And so I had some credit card debt, and I said, well, I want to buy some cars so I can put them on Turo because this thing seems to be creating another income stream. And so I went back. That decision I made years earlier allowed me to get a loan from myself, from my own future self. Hey, future self, can I borrow $20,000? Sure. Borrowed it, showed up in my account. I said, oh my God, I have $20,000 all at once. I paid off everything that I owed. I was debt free in a sense because I didn't owe anybody. So my credit score shot through the roof. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, I was eligible to buy cars. So I started buying cars and I put them on Turo. And that created my fourth income stream where now I've got money coming in. And in that business, I created over 6 figures of revenue within 6 months. And it blew my mind. I said, wow, this is crazy. I should have been doing this. But it was only because earlier in my life, using my job, I was able to develop income stream number 2, which led to income stream number 4. So did that. Now, in between all of this, I was still an entrepreneurial type of person. So I was always trying to sell stuff on Amazon and stuff like that, especially when I heard others were doing well at it. But I ran into issues. I kept like not being able to get the product listed, or they take it down, or I'd be talking to some guy in India and he's like, I can't understand him. And he's telling me that the product's not right. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So finally, I ended up getting a partner that helped me actually start listing products online for sale. And one of the first products we listed was our Diamond Magic Cleaner, which ended up turning into our Diamond Shine Cleaner. And so we started selling these things online. And you can do this too. Find a product, put it online, and before you know it, we were selling on eBay, we were selling on Etsy, we were selling on several different websites, and we finally were able to start selling on Lowes.com and many other sites where that began to generate income for me as well. So now I had a 5th income stream because I was selling online using other marketplaces to do so. All of these decisions are turning into additional streams of income. Now I'm selling products online. That's bringing in more money. Okay, but I don't go and ball out, not yet. First, I take that money and I divvy it up amongst several different accounts, and I begin to plant it like a seed so I can get more money. And what's something that I come across? Well, there are opportunities when you start having money to actually lend money to other people. And I wouldn't suggest lending money to your cousin or your uncle or your auntie and, trying to see if they'll pay you back, because they probably won't. But there are platforms like peer-to-peer lending platforms where you can actually lend to people through a strategic, a legal way, and you can get a return on your money. There are groups that you can use like Kick Further, Lendistry, several different lending club. Look up these places and you will see places where you can actually take your money and earn another income stream. Income stream number 6 now, which is interest income. You can be a bank as well. You can lend your money to people. They have to pay you back the money you lent them with interest. And then that interest becomes additional income for you and becomes another income stream. So that's something I started to build because now I got extra money. So why not start lending and start doing things to actually grow that money? Awesome. So last income stream. I hope this is helping you. Hey, do you like what you're hearing? If so, let's not stop here. Click the link below and join my email list so I can come and provide you valuable information about your mindset, about the market, about everything you need to build your freedom. Click the link. Let's start today. Number 7, you can build an income stream by developing your brand online. That's what you're experiencing right now. StephenMotivate is being built online through YouTube, through digital courses. We use things like Kajabi, Course Creator, all these platforms that allow you to actually build your personal brand. There's several people that have personal brands. You look at the Kardashians, you look at Will Smith, you look at all these people that have personal brands. And now we have the accessibility through things like YouTube, through social media to build our own personal brands where you can actually be paid to be yourself. And that's what we're doing. And it's our 7th income stream. We are building our income through YouTube. Income is being built by sharing ad revenue with YouTube, because we're coming and we're bringing and putting out content consistently, and we're building our community, building our audience. Helping you guys build a firm financial foundation actually generates revenue for me as well, and it can do the same for you. You have to just begin to get on the mic, get in front of the camera, talk about your story, talk about what you've been through, talk about how you've been able to go through the ups and downs of your car accident that turned into $800, that turned into a stock investment, that turned into an additional stream of income. People want to hear from you, and your audience is waiting on your voice. That's what we're doing with StephenMotivate. That's my 7th income stream. And that's how I've been able to build 7 income streams by 1, listening at first, getting a job, resetting, getting through the tears, getting through the pain, taking advice from someone who's doing better than me, like my cousin gave me. That advice led to dividend income, and eventually able to give myself a loan where I could invest in a business. That business generated additional income. I partnered with someone where they were able to help me get through a hurdle where I couldn't sell online before. I'm now starting to have extra money, so I'm using peer-to-peer lending platforms to actually produce an additional revenue stream. And then I'm telling my story online to produce an additional revenue stream. So this is biblical, folks. Ecclesiastes talks about building 7 different income streams, and even 8 if you're feeling great, right? It's really about whether you believe in yourself or not, and whether you have the mindset to do it. I hope this gives you some clarity and some confidence that you can do the same thing, but you've got to fight past this idea that you can't, and you've got to get started. I want to help you get started. If you need my help, again, check out our challenge that's coming up. I encourage you to get VIP so you can ask me questions, and I can give you the guidance that you need so you can start creating the margin in your life, looking for the right partners, setting up the right budget, and being prepared to build your freedom. That's what I want to help you do. I look forward to seeing you there. Thanks for watching this video. I hope it helped you as much as it's helped me. The only thing I ask is that you, in the meantime, in between time, stay motivated. It's your boy, StephenMotivate. Until next time, peace.